Here's a quick preview for today's session, led by Becca at 33 weeks pregnant. We'll be using the mat, a wall, and standing quite a bit. She takes us through a strong and safe workout focusing on length through the spine, legs, back, and side body, while strengthening our balance, back, obliques, and hips. Today's workout is excellent for pre and postnatal, but I also thoroughly enjoyed it myself, so I encourage you to try it even if you aren't pregnant. See you in a moment.
Hi, yes, as Christy said, I teach Pilates and Barre, and I am 33 weeks pregnant. I still feel pretty good at this point in my pregnancy. I'm able to move and I have energy. So today I planned a lengthening and strengthening workout. So lots of leg stuff. We'll start standing. We'll do a lot of standing work just to build up that leg strength as our body changes and grows, and some nice little lengthening and stretching moves. So if you've done a lot of Pilates, some things might feel a little bit more familiar to you from the Pilates world, and some side lying things to work our obliques and that whole lateral side of our body, and then just some back work to finish it up, and a little nice stretching. So I hope that we feel nice and warm and stretched out and strong at the end of it. That's my goal. So come and join me. So we will start down on the mat. So hands and knees. Get your knees about hip distance apart, right underneath your hips, and your hands directly underneath your shoulders. And spread your fingers nice and wide so you feel like you're really grounded and planted through your hands. And on your next exhale, you're just going to curl the tail around, let your head drop, and round the spine. When I think of emptying the lungs. Inhale as you slowly roll through neutral. Keep pushing down on the hands as you pull your chest through and up. And exhale, round. Pushing down with the hands, pulling up with the waist. Inhale, pull the chest through and over. Exhaling and inhaling. Just trying to get some nice movement into our backs to start. And I always like to do something at the beginning of class to just kind of connect to our breath. So we'll go 3 and 2. One more time. Round that back. Find that nice arc, that chest opening. And then we're gonna settle back into neutral. So just think of making your back like a tabletop. I always like to imagine I've got a glass of wine right on the base of my spine and between my shoulder blades. It could be hot tea, coffee, martini, whatever you choose. And your head in line with your spine. That's an easy one to kind of forget. We let our heads drop. So pull that head up so it's in line with your spine. Think proud chest. You're gonna try and keep those beverages still on your back as you extend your right leg back behind you. So just hold it up, feeling that your hips are square, we haven't spilled our drink, and then extend your left arm forward. So finding your balance here, just that can be a challenge. Think of keeping everything close to your midline. So that left biceps by my left ear, right leg reaching back and hugging my midline. You're gonna inhale, slowly lower the hand and the foot, and exhale, reach forward and up. For 7, I like that exhale to lift. You do what works for you. And you only lift that leg as high as you can keep your belly from dropping. For 3 and 2. Last one. Think lengthening both sides of the waist, lift a little higher, and then slide that hand in again. So settling back into that neutral spine, and left leg goes back. So just extend it, get it straight back, and then slowly reach that right arm forward. So right arm right by the right ear. Hugging the midline of the body. Here we go, down and up. Trying to keep that belly button pulled up towards your spine. I always like to think it's a little less effective when I'm pregnant, but belly away from waistband, that always works for me. For 3 and 2. And last one, lift a little higher, take a full breath, and then lower the hand and the knee. You're gonna tuck your toes under behind you. Walk your hands just a little bit further forward, so take one little step forward. We're gonna go into a down dog, which feels great for me, but if you are quite pregnant and it doesn't quite feel comfortable for you, you can continue with the cat-cows. Just meet us up when we are finished. So here we go. Toes are tucked under. You're gonna exhale, straighten your legs, press your hips up to the sky, reach your chest back towards your thighs. Find that stretch there. And then broaden your collarbones. Allow some space for your neck and shoulders. Keeping your spine neutral, you're gonna hinge forward. So inhale, come forward, bring your chest forward and your hips down into that plank. If you're quite pregnant, again, you can drop to your knees, lift your feet, or keep them down. And exhale, press up to down dog. So going nice and slow. Inhaling forward into that plank, and exhaling to lift and press. So getting that stretch on the back of the legs as you go into that down dog, and warming up that core as you come forward into your plank. For 3, and 2, and once more. We're gonna come up into that down dog. Stay here and just pedal out the feet a couple of times. So bend one knee, press your opposite heel to the floor, and switch. Again, keeping that chest nice and open. Think broad, soft collarbones. And one more time each foot. Just getting that nice little stretch. And then you're gonna step 1 foot forward, you pick, outside that hand, and then the other foot to meet it. And then you'll rise all the way up. Bring your arms up by your ears. So my feet are wide turn out. Inhale, bend your knees, sit nice and low, and exhale, rise up. So just warming up the hips and just allowing the arms to kind of just float. And we'll lift up just 2. And one more time, you're gonna sit back down into that deep plié squat. Bring your hands together. Feel your chest nice and lifted, and pulse your hips down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise all the way up. Bring your arms down and just heel toe your feet back into about hip distance and parallel. So feet are like railroad tracks. Their toes are pointed straight forward. If you are quite pregnant, you might want your feet a little bit wider. This feels good to me. You could even have your feet all the way together. You're gonna inhale your arms by your ears, sit your hips back into that kind of chair position. So arms float up, they're framing the face. Most of all, I want you to find that long straight line through your spine and your fingertips. So think top of the head and fingertips reaching to where the floor meets the wall. Sit nice and low, and then rise up. Let the arms float down. So we'll just go down and up, nice and slow. Taking those big full breaths, keeping your knees and your toes pointed straight forward. So just notice if as you sit back into that imaginary chair, sometimes our knees want to go in or out. Don't let them. Let's just go 2. And last one. You're gonna rise the arms back up, sit back. Again, think of that long line through your spine, and exhale to roll your heels up. I want you to keep your knees bent and slowly push the heels back down. So your upper body isn't actually moving a whole lot. The heels roll up, pushing into all 10 toes or evenly across the ball of the foot for 4, and 3, and 2. Last one, we're gonna lift the heels, keep them up. Lift your chest a little bit taller. Think of coming a little bit more upright. Pulse down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise all the way up. And then we'll turn to face back forward. We're gonna get our legs kind of moving. Just kind of let those hips move. Sometimes we get extra flexible in pregnancy, and sometimes the opposite happens. I've kind of felt that my hips are actually quite tight. So start in that first position, so hips turned out, and just hands on your hip. This is partly to give your hands somewhere to go, but also just kind of monitor any movement in your pelvis. You want to keep your hips square, so hip bones facing straight forward as much as you can. We'll start with our left leg, my good leg. You're gonna swish your leg back behind you. Both legs stay straight the whole time and stay in that turnout. So just watch as your leg goes back, your hips don't go with it. And then like your foot is a paintbrush, you're gonna brush it along the floor and sweep it up in front of you. So swish back and sweep up. So you'll kind of have to roll through the foot a bit. It'll flex as it comes next to your right, and it'll point as it goes back and forth. Important to keep that turnout at your hips. So think of lifting your inner thigh to the ceiling, not necessarily the top of your thigh, and keeping that right leg nice and straight and strong. Again, just trying to create a little free movement in your hip for 3, and 2, and last one. We're gonna take our arms out to a T and step those left toes a few inches behind our right heel. Let's give it a few pulses here. Just keep our legs moving. Give us a chance to kind of re-square ourselves. catch our breath. We'll do 3 little curtsies here, and then a kick in front of that left arm. So slightly out to the side. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. You'll kick just in front of that left arm. And step back curtsy. 2, 3, exhale, kick. So depending on how much mobility you have in your hips, your leg may be quite far out to the side. It may be more in front of you. Try not to sweat it too much. Just remember those hip bones. They stay square, and you keep that turn out. So inner thigh lifting to the ceiling. Use that breath. And here we go. 3, 2, 3, and kick. And 2, 2, 3. Exhale. Last one. And now singles. So 1 curtsy, 1 kick. For 7. Yes. It is a lot of balance. Use that wall or a chair. Keep that energy in that left leg. So don't just swing it. Think of reaching for 2 and 1. Okay. Arms come down. And other side. So hands back to your hips. Right leg goes back. So just kind of send it back to start. Make sure those hips are still square. You've got that turn out your hips. Here we go. Your foot's pointed as it's behind you. You swish it like a paintbrush. It comes through. Points to kick up. Back and forth. And you guys will probably notice the difference in my 2 sides. It's also funny, my baby is over here on the right side. So yeah, it feels like just can't get my leg up there. Think inner thigh lifting to the ceiling. Pushing that foot into the floor to kick the foot up or kick the leg up. So hinging at your hip, swish and swish. 4, 3, and 2. One more time. And then arms out to a T. Step those right toes a little behind your left. We'll give it a few little curtsies, and then we know where we're going. You'll kick that right leg just in front of your right arm, kind of on that diagonal. So here we go. 3 curtsies, 1 kick. 3, 2, 1, and kick it up. And wow, 1, 2, 3, and kick. That's better. There we go. 1, 2, 3, exhale. So if Christy and I can do this, then anybody can do it. There we go. 2, 3. One of the most helpful tips I can say about these, especially with balance, don't rush it, but keep the flow. So if you go too fast, it's tempting sometimes. Kind of makes it harder. And if you stop and start, kind of makes it harder. So just keep moving. Last 2, 2, 3. Exhale. Last 1, 2, 3. Now singles. Here we go. Curtsy, kick. For 7. Keeping that chest up. So as you curtsy down, there we go. 3 and 2 and last 1. Okay, arms down. Humbling. I know. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water, and then I'll meet you back at your bar or chair or wall. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, if you're trying to go back and forth like this, it's awkward. It'll give you stronger work through that standing glute to keep the weight on that front foot. It's a good tip. Glad I invited you. Okay, we're gonna use the wall. If you have a bar, use a bar or even the back of a chair. The wall is actually pretty good. It gives you something to kind of push into, which is nice. Depending on shoulder and hip flexibility, you may be down, your chest may be parallel to the floor and maybe a little bit higher. You'll just have your feet right under your hip, a little space between them, so right sit bone distance apart. So spread your collarbones, feel that length on both sides of your waist, and then just slide your right foot back behind you so your toes are rested on the floor. Keep that idea of that drink on the base of your spine. That's super important, and your belly pulling away from the floor, away from your shirt. And exhale, lift that right leg up. And inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So you'll notice pretty quickly that that left leg, your standing leg, actually has to do a lot of work to stabilize the rest of your body. Try not to forget about that head. Keep it in line with the spine. And that right leg stays parallel, so knee points down towards the floor, even as at its highest lift. It'll be tempting to lift it higher or to turn it out. Last one, we'll hold the leg up. So lengthen both sides of your waist, reach that right leg away from you, and pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now cross your midline. So come over towards your left. You're gonna lower your foot, touch it down behind your left foot, and then think of making a rainbow or an arc. You're gonna go up and over, slightly to your right. I only want you to go so far so you can keep that right hip from hiking. And here we go, up and around to the left, up and over to the right. Again, that left glute, that's kind of what I'm feeling the most right now. How about you, Christy? Yeah, burning. Here we go. Hello. Let's go one more time each way. We started crossing our midline to the left, so finish with your leg out to the right. And then you'll come back to the center. You're gonna exhale, round your spine, bend both knees, and pull your right knee to your nose. And then inhale, extend, open your chest, extend both legs straight. We're just gonna go 5. So here's 2 and 3. So even as you open that chest, keep that belly pulled up. 2 and 1. Step your right foot down. We're gonna take a quick roll up. So walk your hands down to the floor. Let your body just hang forward and use an exhale to roll up through the spine. Bending your knees if that feels appropriate. And yes, yes. And we've got two butt cheeks. So let's get to the other one. Hands forward, find that same position. You might be warmed up. Maybe you can get your hands a little bit lower. Again, find that length through your spine and find your abs. And then switch that left foot back. So it just rests on the floor. Get those hips nice and square. Proud chest. Here we go. Lift and lower. Nice and slow. So resisting that temptation to just kick the leg up. Think of a reach or a drag as if you're pulling it up through thick, sticky air. Legs stay parallel and head stays in line with the spine. I can catch my head dropping below my arms. Last 2 and last 1. Hold the leg up. Here we go. 8 pulses. Lift higher. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We cross our midline. Come behind your right leg. Lower the foot. Make that rainbow arc up and over to the left. And up and over and across. Trying to keep the upper body as still as you can. Still think about that glass of wine, that hot cup of tea, whatever it is. It's waiting for you at the end of this workout. Up and around. Yeah, no, this side it's funny how different our 2 sides can be. Last 2. We started crossing our midline to the right. So last one will go up and over to the right. And then up and over to the left, and then back to the center. Take a breath in, exhale, round. Bend both knees, knee towards your chest. Inhale, extend and open. Exhale, scoop and pull. Inhale, reach. Just 3 and 2 and last one. And then step your left foot down by your right. One more time. Just walk your hands down, hang forward, let the knees softly bend, let your head be heavy, and use your exhale to roll up. Okay, so that's all the standing work. So now we'll do some side legs.
If you want to finish this workout, please come over to my website. The link is in the description below. You will find there everything to help you get fit, stay healthy, and keep active each and every day. Keep moving with me, and also give me a thumbs up as it helps my channel, and subscribe if you want to get a notification each time I post a new video. So I will see you next week.